Simple dinner turned into a marriage reality check. Before we begin, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel Angry Alex and turn on notifications because the stories here are real, raw, and emotional. And now let's get into it. It starts with the sound of plates settling on the dining table as the husband exhales and says, "I'm not trying to start a fight, but can we talk about this dinner because it's cold again and I feel like every time I bring it up, you think I'm attacking you." The wife looks at him and replies, "I'm listening. But the way you say it always sounds like blame, and you don't ask how my day went or what happened before you walked in." The husband rubs his forehead and says, "My day was exhausting too, and when I sit down hoping for one normal meal, and it's wrong, I feel ignored." The wife responds with a shaky breath,
Cinematic
saying,
video posts you
"I
in the
didn't
kitchen.
ignore you.
The
I was
husband
juggling
complained
work calls, laundry,
really
and your mother
waiting to
texting me
make a mess of
nonstop,
me.
and I still cooked."
A lot
The
is
husband
really-
answers, "I know you cook, but why does it feel like I'm always expected to just accept everything quietly?" The wife says, "Because when you talk, it feels like a complaint, not a conversation." The husband raises his voice slightly, saying, "I am talking right now, aren't I?" And the wife says, "Yes, but you're talking like I failed you, not like we're a team." The husband pauses, then says, "Maybe I don't know how to say it right, but I come home wanting comfort, and instead we're always tense." The wife replies softly, "I
Cinematic
want
video posts you in the
comfort too,
kitchen.
but I feel
The
like no matter
husband
what I do,
complained.
When
it's
they're
never
over,
enough
really
for you." The
waiting
husband
to
says
make
that's
a
not
mess of
true,
me.
and the wife quickly answers, "Then
A lot
why
is
do?
about
I feel so small
beautiful
every
wife
time you
just as bright
criticize
as
something I
costly
worked
style."
on." The husband sighs and says, "Because I don't see the effort first," and the wife says, "Exactly.
68
You see the
seconds.
mistake before you see me."
Making a
The
firm
husband leans
verbal
back and
point,
says, "I
then
grew
the
up in a
wife
house where
responding
mistakes
immediately.
were pointed out
Control,
immediately." And the
realistic
wife
to
replies,
pull,
"I
little
didn't,
real
and
flu,
that's why this
little
hurts me
mileage.
more."
This is
than you
burnt.
think.
I told you to check the
The
temperature.
husband says,
I
"I'm
did
not your
check it. It was
father."
perfect
And the
when I
wife
took it out.
responds,
It's charred.
"I
How
know,
can you even
but
eat this?
sometimes it
You're
feels like
being
you're judging me the
ridiculous. I
same
cooked it
way."
exactly like
The
the
husband
recipes.
lowers his tone
Cinematic video
and
posts
says,
you
"I'm
in the kitchen.
frustrated, not
The husband
judgmental."
complained.
And the wife
When they're
says
over,
frustration
really
still cuts when
waiting to
it's
remake a
directed
mess
at
of
the
me.
person who's trying. Shouldn't have pointed at the food like that, and the wife says, "Thank you, because that gesture said more than your words." The husband nods and says, "I felt unheard and acted out," and the wife replies, "I hear you now, but I need you to hear me too." The husband says, "Tell me." And the wife takes a breath and says, "I feel lonely even when you're here because we only talk when something's wrong." The husband says, "I didn't know you felt that way," and the wife answers, "That's because we don't slow down enough to ask." The husband says, "I'm asking now," and the wife says, "Then listen." Without fixing or criticizing, the husband says, "Okay," and the wife continues,
This is burnt.
"I need
I told you to check the
appreciation,
temperature."
not
I did
perfection,
check it. It was
and I need to
perfect
feel
when I took
safe
it out.
making
It's
mistakes
charred.
around
How can
you."
you even eat this?
The husband
You're
says, "I
being
never
ridiculous.
wanted you to
I
feel
cooked it
unsafe," and the
exactly like the
wife
recipes.
replies,
Cinematic
"Intentions
video
don't
posts
erase
you in the
impact."
kitchen. The husband
nods
complained.
slowly
When they're
and
over,
says,
really
"You're right, and
waiting
I'm
to
sorry
remake
for
a mess
how
of me.
I spoke tonight."
A lot is
The wife looks at him and says, "I'm sorry too for shutting down." Instead of explaining, the husband says, "When you go quiet, I feel shut out." And the wife answers, "When you
68
raise your
seconds.
voice, I feel attacked."
Making a
The
firm
husband
verbal
says, "So we're
point,
both
then
reacting
the
from
wife
fear." And the
responding
wife says,
immediately.
"Yes, fear of not
Control,
being
realistic
enough
to
and fear
pull,
of
little
not
real
being
flu,
valued."
little
The
mileage.
husband reaches for
This
his
is
glass
burnt.
and
I
says,
told you to check the
"I do
temperature."
value
I
you
did
even when
check
I'm
it. It
bad
was
at showing
perfect
it."
when I took it
The
out.
wife
It's
says, "Then
charred.
show
How
it
can
in
you even
moments
eat
like
this?
this, not
You're
just when
being
things are easy."
ridiculous. I cooked
The
it
husband
exactly
says,
like the
"I will
recipes.
try if you
Cinematic
remind
video
me
posts
without
you in the
assuming
kitchen.
the worst."
The husband
And the wife
complained.
says,
When they're over,
"I can do that
really
if you meet me halfway."
waiting to remake
The
a mess
husband
of me.
smiles slightly and says,
A lot is
"Halfway
really
sounds fair," and the wife
When his beautiful
says,
wife
"Fair is
just
all
as
I've
bright
ever
as
wanted."
costly style.
The husband looks around and says, "This
Someone
house feels heavy
4,000
tonight."
hostage
And the
issues.
wife replies, "Because
68
we've been
seconds.
carrying things we
Making a
never said out
firm verbal
loud."
point,
The husband says
then the
maybe
wife
dinner wasn't the
responding
problem,
immediately.
and the wife says it never
Control,
was.
realistic
The
to
husband
pull,
laughs
little real
quietly and
flu,
says so.
little
The
mileage.
food can be
This is
reheated, but
burnt.
this
I told you to check the
needed to be
temperature.
said.
I did check
The
it.
wife
It was
nods and
perfect when I
says
took it out.
conversations
It's
like
charred.
this
How can
matter
you even
more
eat
than
this?
perfect
You're
meals.
being
The
ridiculous.
husband says, "I don't
cooked it
need
exactly
perfect.
like the
I just
recipes.
need honesty
Cinematic
and
video
warmth." And
posts you in the kitchen.
wife says,
The husband
"Then let's
complained.
promise
When they're
to
over,
talk before
really
resentment builds."
waiting to
The
remake
husband
a mess
says,
of
"I
me.
promise," and the wife says, "I'll hold you to it." The husband says, "Please do," and the wife smiles faintly, saying, "I love you even when we argue." And the husband replies, "I love you, especially when we argue and still choose each other." The room grows quieter as the tension softens and the husband says, "Let's sit and eat again and actually talk about our days." The wife says, "I'd like that," and as they sit, the Husband adds, and tomorrow I'll cook and you can complain about my food. The wife laughs and says only if you promise not to take it personally. The husband says deal and the wife says deal, and their voices soften into calm. Conversation as the night settles, not perfect but honest. A simple dinner turned into a marriage reality check. If this story felt real to you, before we begin, make sure you like this video.